It's Rog, live from the Roadrunner in Boston. What a night to say these words. Soccer's coming home. And we are here for the part of World Cup glory. We're so grateful to our friends at Bank of America who've made this possible. Their partnership is supporting this live show and the entire Men in Blazers media network. We've got an incredible night ahead. We're grateful to them for powering it all with love and dedication and excitement, because we are just 187 days away from the kickoff of the Copa das Copas. And it's coming to this great city. You have England. God, I just did something incredible. I got Bostonians to cheer for England. Too soon, I think, to be candid, as a great American. France, Ghana. You can cheer Ghana. I won't have you cheering for France, but I'll have you cheering for Ghana. Haiti. They're amazing. Morocco. Oh, Norway. Vaguely terrifying. And by the way, the greatest of all, Scotland, the Tarn Army are going to drink you dry, Beantown! Oh, and tonight we're going to delve into it all, just 24 hours after the World Cup draw finished, in the footballing traditional way, with a Village People performance. We know now the fateful opening steps of each journey for every one of the 48 nations as they hope to carve paths across our nation from sea to shining sea. And we also learn really important things apart from that, like Wayne Gretzky doesn't believe in rehearsals. Do you need to run through the 12 countries that you're going to read, Wayne? No, I'm good. I'm still exhausted, to be candid. That draw, there was a moment in the draw where I thought, holy crap, the draw is actually not going to be over before the tournament starts. But I will say, to be with you all tonight is giving me life, because we're here to revel in all that is to come this summer, when the World Cup discovers the magical kingdom of Boston and falls in love with you. God bless you. God bless you, by the way, to your FIFA World Cup Boston 26 committee, because the world is about to descend upon you. Over 2 million fans will crash across New England. They'll discover your singular wonder. They too will visit the place pilgrims landed on such an impossibly small rock. Even your 7th grade self was a bit disappointed. Out of tiny acorns, oak trees grow, people. They'll experience the spirit of your city that I want to understand tonight, that singular commitment to sporting glory, really forged here as a means to an end, just to celebrate victory on decommissioned semi-amphibious vehicles. God bless the duck boats. I love it here in so many different ways. Boston honestly reminds me of my hometown of Liverpool. Both cities believe they are the capital city of Ireland. And so when I first set foot upon it as a 19-year-old Rog, this is me, tasting my very first Dunkin' Donuts. I've not changed, have I? By the way, I don't like to be hyperbolic, but that iced Dunkin' Donuts changed my life in every regard. And that face I'm pulling is how I feel inside today. I'm so happy to be back with you tonight in this moment, revel in it, dig into the ramifications of yesterday's draw, and truly celebrate your magical kingdom together. This singular, positive, joyful life force that is Boston. Are you ready to do that with me? Cheers, Boston. Oh, that's so good. Let's begin with our first guest, a man who knows better than almost anybody about the essence of this city. Jen is possibly the most interesting man in the world. His bio reads a bit like an AI hallucination. But it's real. He was born in Trenčín, Western Slovakia, came into his own when he moved to Boston, was here for 14 glorious years with your Bruins, where he was your captain. He won the Stanley Cup, set Guinness World Record as the tallest man to ever play in the NHL. Who could it be? Boston, please be upstanding for a giant of your city. It's Mr. Zdeno Chara! Oh, I want to be completely clear. I am in awe of you. I really, really am. I mean, it's not often I meet someone who's like, I can look eye to eye. 24-season NHL career, fluent in 9 languages, Ironman, wrestled Olympians. Marathon time, what was it?
I don't know.
3 hours 30.
Well, the first one was like 3:38, and a couple, months later, I think the best one was like 3:07.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I set him up to then do a humble brag.
Yeah.
Climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yep.
You're going to tell me you ran up it without breaking. Bike stages of the Tour de France. Studied at Harvard. See, I was told it was not possible to do it all. But you are genuinely one of the most singular blokes I've met. So simple question first. What's it like to have achieved physical, mental, and spiritual perfection? I'm asking for a friend.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for coming out. This is awesome. I love guys seeing you. I always love to interact with people, and having fans here, it's just overwhelming, and I love seeing you guys. So awesome, and I'm sure you guys all want to know as much as you can. I'm just a regular guy, honestly. I love learning. I love experiencing, experimenting new things. I like to challenge myself. So yeah, I think it's just a curiosity of if I can, and literally you can. If you put your mind into it, you can achieve anything. You can start anything. If you stick with it and you're consistent and you discipline, you just it will start happening. So I've been very fortunate that in my life, in my career, I had really great people around me who encouraged me to kind of like pursue that learning. So if you want to call it.
I mean, so curiosity is a core value of your life, but you also put word into action, and I admire it so greatly. I mean, that's how you have moved around the world, born in Trenčín, Western Slovakia, moved to Prague, to New York, Ottawa, DC, but you made your name here in Boston. You destroyed all comers. Look here. And then you hung up your skates, you stayed here. I mean, you're a gent who has been all over the planet, but there's no one finer to tell us. Zdeno, what is singular about this city of Boston, in your words?
From the first day, from the first moment we moved in here, I felt connected. It's a blue-collar city. The people work hard. They are passionate about the sports. They love their sports. I love the cultures. There's multiple cultures here. They all find a way to respect each other, to live together. It's just amazing city. It's not a huge city, but it's big enough. But it's also like small enough to really get to know like each neighborhood. People like really are connected. Obviously, the medical care, the educational opportunities here are by far best in the world. So. And if you look at it, the location and the way the city is being, structurally built, and the greens, the parks, the neighborhoods, the bridges, it's just so beautiful. So it's no brainer for us to stay and live here. So we love it.
When Zdeno says there's multiple cultures here, he means there's Patriots, there's Celtics, there's Bruins, and the Boston Globe, so this must be true. They wrote about you that you were the quintessential Bruin, reliable, fearless, good-hearted, a leader to literally look up to. And for me, there's no better illustration than that than the 2019 Stanley Cup Finals against the St. Louis Blues. Game 4, you took a deflected puck to the face. I mean, the injury was shattering. You broke your jaw. You needed surgery immediately to insert 2 plates, wires, screws just to hold it together. Game 5 rolls around. How long was it for you coming out of surgery until Game 5, Z?
It was less than 24 hours, I think. It was just.
So, guys, you could the FIFA draw was longer than the time that Zdeno from surgery to taking the ice. But my lord, less than 24 hours, you were out there, coming out onto the ice, face mask, and honestly, you received an all-time TD Garden ovation. Can you talk about what that moment says about Boston hockey fans and Boston sports fans in general? There's so many of you nodding along here. It's a memory, I think, for so many of you. They got to their feet not for a goal or a win, or an incredible play, but for loyalty, tenacity, and bravery and perseverance.
And that's exactly why myself, I wanted to play for fans, and obviously it's a feeling that you can't describe. You just don't want to miss out, no matter what. Obviously it was a not ideal situation, being all screwed up and having all these plays and wires in my mouth and barely talking. But at the same time, I knew at that point it was so structurally firm that even if I get hit again, nothing happen, right? So, probably the puck would break before my jaw. But no, like I love the fans. I love the support we were getting, and they always behind us, no matter what. And I felt that loyalty, that that transparency towards the fans. I wanted to go out there and just show it that I really appreciate their love and what they do for us daily, every season, and how much it means for them to follow the teams. It's not about Bruins; it's about the sports here in general. If you look at, I don't know, past 15 years, how many championships this city was able to celebrate. It's incredible. It really is incredible, and you can see how they kind of overlapping from when season with Red Sox is over, they come and support the Bruins. When the Bruins season is over, they go back to Pats and Celtics, and it always interacts. It always support each other. It's all about like Boston. It's not just the Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins, and Pats. It's Boston strong. It's Boston always behind. So.
I want to come back to that in a moment, because I think the world is about to encounter Boston strong, that mentality, that commitment to winning, that commitment to the community of joy that you have lived and inspired. But I do need to ask you, you're a man who can run marathons, you can do 40 chin-ups, you can compete in the Tour de France. I think you once fought 1,000 Philistines with a donkey's jawbone, and then Samson ripped you off in the Bible. But can you tell us about Zdeno Chara, the footballer?
Yeah, I grew up playing soccer a lot. I think in general in Europe, if you don't play soccer, you have to play soccer when you grow up. But that was a huge part of our preparation as a youth hockey players. In the summer, we would play pretty much after every dry land. It will be a soccer match, and so I remember like following all these World Cups in 80s, 90s. I remember like I loved watching those huge national tournaments, and specifically I remember the team, the Netherlands. They won in I don't know what year that was, but it was like Rijkaard, Gullit, Marco van Basten, Koenen, like really fat, like strong kicker.
Yep.
I don't remember all the names, but I know they won, and
you
it was
named
amazing.
about 1,000 Dutch people
no.
there.
But it was amazing to follow, and of course after watching on television, we went to the streets and fields and we played soccer. So that was
1988, the Euro Championship Dutch team.
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah, when
right?
they beat Russia in the final.
Yeah.
It was truly inspirational. Mauricio Pochettino, I know you're watching this. This may be the defensive midfielder we need for the double pivot, if you know what I mean. Get the big Z in there. By the way, for him, if he did play in the World Cup, it would just be another thing he did. You know what I mean? 40 chin-ups, studied the Harvard, played in the World Cup. But I do want to finish by saying there's a World Cup headed our way. It's given us great memories in our youth, all the way through our, ultimately for me, World Cups are the spine of my life, spine of my memory. It's going to wash ashore right here in Boston this very summer. Boston is such an iconic city, the cradle of the American Revolution, the Green Monster, Double D. But this summer, in your words, Zdeno, what will the world learn about Boston and its people that they didn't know before?
Well, pretty much what I kind of say, like they will definitely learn how or see how beautiful the city is. There's different parts, like the historical parts of North End, South End, the modern part, seaports being built like, incredibly well. They're gonna see all these greens parts of the Boston, but mostly about like I said, about the people. They're gonna learn how passionate they are about the sport, how they follow, how they love the sports. It's gonna be incredible experience for everybody who comes here from all over the world to see what Boston is all about.
Godspeed. I've got to say, when those English fans are just letting fireworks out of body parts that I can't mention on stage, send Zdeno out to sort them out, Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for one of your own, Boston royalty, Zdeno Chara! Oh, God, what a human being. Can I just tell you, when I stand up straight, same Z's as the big Z, 6'7", baby. Let's dive into the draw itself. Smoke is cleared. Rio Ferdinand has stopped doing his comedy bits. So let's start digging in. Let's go a little big picture by bringing to the stage two gentlemen who love football as deeply as Wayne Gretzky loves mispronouncing the words North Macedonia. Oh, Macedonia. He knew in the moment, didn't he? I will say it's a human delight to have their hearts, their brains, their souls on the Men in Blazers Media Network. It's an even bigger bloody delight to have them over here in person together in the flesh. They've been walking around your city and falling in love with it. I've got to tell you today, they went to the Phoenix, the Liverpool bar, to watch the game. And by the way, were blown away by everything that they saw. Boston, please give a proper New England welcome for Old England from The Athletic and The Observer, Mr. James Horncastle and the Crown Prince of Harrogate, it's Mr. Rory Smith! How was the Phoenix today, lads?
I did not enjoy it.
You like the atmosphere?
The atmosphere was lovely, but it's a shame there was no football on. It's very upsetting. We should have gone for a game.
James is a Leeds fan.
Yeah. It was... Thank you. It was a glorious day. First day in Boston as well, and I love your city. First time back since you kicked us out 250 years ago, so...
By the way, I bet you there was a Horncastle that was actually kicked out in that moment.
Of course, proud redcoat. I'm back.
Gents, we are 24 hours on from the draw. And other than YMCA faintly still ringing in your ears.
Is the draw finished?
Well, I think we know who America, England and Argentina are playing. Those guys are still on stage screaming into their microphone, being like, guys, now we're going to play something from our new album. Who wants to hear it? It was the ultra marathon of draws. I mean, it was like Ken Burns long. I think we've all got runner's nipple right now. But, oh my God, that noise.
My nipples actually hurt looking at that.
Yeah, that's not good.
I've got to tell you, there's some serious runners in this room. That noise that just came out of some of you was born of just genuinely primal memory. But Raw, you said it could have been an email.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the thing I've always loved about football is that it's a mirror to the world that surrounds it in great times. Ultimately, we learned yesterday this is going to be the World Cup of, I guess, excess.
Yeah, thanks, Rog, for throwing me the divisive political one.
I was talking about the village people.
The village people. There's going to be a lot of the village people.
Where do you stand on the village people?
I think the thing is, I think we can probably all agree that FIFA don't do subtle at the moment.
Yep.
It feels very much like kind of official provider of happiness to humanity. All that tells me is Gianni Infantino, not a Spurs fan. The kind of the showiness of it.
Is he an Everton fan?
Definitely not. Although today, Rog,
Well, today. Well, you want me to talk about it?
today I am an Everton fan.
Yeah, today I am an Everton, says Gianni. I will say about Everton, are there any Everton fans here? God
Hang on,
bless you all.
Can I just ask a question? Do you support Everton because of him?
No. Please say no.
You have to take you have to take responsibility for this, Rog.
I do. When we lose, I've got to tell you, I feel so much guilt. I sit in a dark room and just listen to Tracy Chapman's Fast Car on repeat. I really, really do. I feel like a tremendous guilt.
Not Z cars.
Well, I've got a Z car. I will say the amazing thing about Everton is when we go to Everton Football Club are 5th in the table as we live and breathe. When other teams go to 5th, Rebecca Lowe goes, are they in the hunt for the Champions League? Everton go to 5th, and everyone was just like, oh, that's nice, God bless.
I don't even think that. I think it's not that. I think Everton go 5th, and everyone just looks at it and goes, well, that won't last.
I know.
I think that's the, yeah.
I mean, we're saying the same thing. But we're talking about England, and I want to start with England. They're going to play, we learned, Croatia.
Oh,
They're going to.
there we go.
God bless. They're going to play Panama. God bless. Was that a cough? Or was that? Because I love Panama. I've got to tell you, I've been to a lot of football in Panama, and this moment for that nation, I utterly adore. And they're also going to play Ghana, a new foe. I mean, God bless. That is for the English people, they think it's a draw of dreams. Ghana make us as Americans feel it's a draw of nightmares. One thing that stuck with me was the number of articles in English newspapers. Immediately the draw finished, just like, here's England's run into the final.
England is the only country in the world that waits for this World Cup draw for X number of years, watches it for 14 to 15 hours, and then goes, right, so we'll play Brazil in the semis. That was the reaction at home.
Yeah, football is coming home.
We do.
It just never has.
The thing is, it's difficult for me to say as a proud Yorkshireman. I think the world has to get ready for the possibility that England win the World Cup.
On the 250th anniversary of your independence.
I'm sorry.
We're taking it back.
None of us like it. None of us want it to happen.
Yes, that's what we're here for. I'm going to dust my red coat off, drink some tea, and hold that World Cup aloft.
The thing you have to remember with England is if you think we're bad losers, wait till you see what we're like as winners.
Genuinely, what would that be like to be in England that wins things? Like,
it'd be like Everton getting into the Champions League.
I don't want to know about the orifices people put flares into.
We've discussed. Yeah, like America finds new planets to explore. England finds new orifice to insert rockets up to celebrate victory. I will say, I was speaking to a human being that owns a Premier League football team. Well, I won't mention. And he was
I'm glad he's a human being.
Well,
there is some doubt.
No, you know what? I can neither confirm nor deny on that, to be candid. But he's constantly like, why do the fans not love me? And I always say to them, like, the English fans don't love themselves, so they're never going to love you. Yeah. So just give up on that fantasy. I do not know what it will be like if England won a World Cup. Like, they would shatter the identities of the identity at this point is so ingrained in losing, I guess, is what.
Yeah, it's
being screwed, being like.
It's the scars that we carry. It's a nation of scars. But my favourite thing, as someone who absolutely does not want England to win the World Cup, is the idea of them winning it with a German manager is just so. Perfect. We've wanted this for so long, we had to get a German to do it for us.
Yeah, Rory doesn't want it to happen anyway, but he wouldn't count it if
No,
a German...
I would. The only circumstances in which it's possibly acceptable is if it's actually a German.
I would be amazed. But then the England World Cup win will have an asterisk against it, like when Liverpool won the league the last 2 times. But I am digressing, because I do want to say the classic group of death, probably Group I, not to go Sesame Street on your arse. France, placed with that magical collective Senegal. And my God, misplaced in pot 3, meat grinder Norway. James, who gets out alive there?
I think Senegal and Norway.
Ooh.
I think Didier Deschamps, he's been in the job too long. Yes, there are lots of new French players coming through, bright young things, but this job should have been Zinedine Zidane's job 2-4 years ago. So I think there's more freshness about Norway, more freshness about Senegal. I think that's going to be the big shock.
There's a lot of ghosts.
France going through as a 3rd place team.
There's a lot of ghosts there for France. They played Senegal as holders in 2002 in the first game and lost. This great shame that the rest of Europe really enjoyed. That will bring back a lot of bad memories for the French.
God, England winning even when they're not playing.
It's the only time we win.
But let's move to happier joy. Haaland versus Mbappe, June 26, right here in Gillette. Sorry, Boston Stadium. By the way, you Bostonians are going to get so unbelievably confused having to explain to like 500,000 Norwegians when they're like, where is Boston Stadium? And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But talking about epic clashes, defending champion Argentina with 63-year-old Lionel Messi, fresh off, fulfilling today his childhood dream that he grew up with as a boy in Rosario of winning MLS Cup.
He's finally fulfilled.
Yeah. He's like, and now I can retire. I've done it. No, hang on a minute. I need to get another supporters shield.
The commentators on Fox, I'm pretty sure, I watched the last half hour, and at one point they like flashed up Busquets and Alba and Messi and said, these players who've won everything that's worth winning, and I thought, well, as opposed to this, is that what's happening? But Messi looked really happy.
I mean,
he didn't run around for the last 20 minutes, but he looked really happy.
I mean, do you know how many pairs of jorts you can buy with a bonus check that you get when you win the MLS Cup? I mean, this is a gentleman that is so happy in the United States of America. Whether he plays in the World Cup or doesn't, narrator's voice, he will. They've had a kind draw. Defending champions, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan, the best Jordan since Pickford. But is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? In the defending champions quarter-final journey, they could play Lionel Messi against Cristiano Ronaldo. It's like a daytime soap opera now. Or I guess I'm asking, is this the closest World Cup football has ever come to the Zoolander walk-off scene between Derek and Hansel?
Yeah, I mean, is it orange mochaccino day? Orange frappuccino day? No. I mean, for me, what's most intriguing about Argentina is they play 2 of the 3 games in Kansas City now. And for those Argentines, they're very proud barbecuers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to show people from Kansas how to barbecue. I think that's what they're going to come for. They're going to be distracted by that. And we're not even going to get Messi, Ronaldo. I think the Argentines are going to be out.
I think the opposite is true. I think the Argentinian fans, when I was in the Brazil World Cup, there were 100,000. I told about this at the draw. 100,000 Argentinians slept on the Copacabana beach. I thought that beach was named after. I thought Brazilians loved Barry Manilow so much they named the beach after one of his songs. But they all slept there. They're going to descend upon Argentina. They're going to go to Oklahoma Joe's. They're going to taste the Big Z. And they're going to be like, sod this barbecue that we've done for hundreds of years. They're going to go back and take the Kansas City barbecue back with them. Just like every team that plays in Atlanta is going to take lemon pepper wet, whether they win or lose. These are the real victories of the World Cup. By the way, I mean, the boss, any team that, in Norway, in about 5 generations' time, when genuinely, they're like, grandfather, why do we drive a Doe? They go, oh, God. I do want to get some quick reactions, Steve, but I want to know, the fact that the 8 third-place teams go through in this tournament, which means kind of like that 3 points and a not terrible goal difference should get you through. In the opening round, just to knock out 16 teams, France amongst them probably. Does that dent the sense of intrigue and jeopardy in the opening stages?
I guess it'll be more of a slow burn to an extent, but you always get stories. In '94, it was 24 teams, so the third-place teams went through as well. And you still get drama in those games. You'll still have teams who are going into that last round of games who need to win to qualify. And there'll be teams that need to win, even if they've already qualified, that want to finish first. So I think you still get drama. It will kind of build through the tournament, but I think that might make what comes at the end better.
God, I love that. By the way, for punditry and the Manipulation Media Network does not work out. It's time for our speed round. We're going to pivot through these so bloody quickly. There's a lot of middleweights in this. I mean, a lot of middleweights who pack a great punch. This is a lot of great coaches coaching a lot of these teams as well, which is going to be a game changer. Can you name one outsider who's going to break through into the clear blue water of the knockout round? Who's going to be the Morocco of 2026?
I think it could be a team that's not already qualified. So I'm going to say Turkey, who will be in the group with the US.
They don't like that. They don't like that. People don't like the truth.
No.
Ecuador.
Because
Ecuador are amazing. Ecuador think they can get to the semi-finals. Ecuador do not regard themselves as outsiders. They're the second best team in South America. Ecuador will be really good.
God bless.
Look at that. Applause.
Making a mental note to have the American team to start eating guinea pig immediately. When you look at this draw, can you pick one individual that we're not talking about right now who will shine? And during the months of June and July 2026, every kid on every schoolyard across the planet will be screaming their name after the opening round. Who will that be?
So I'm going to go for Désiré Doué of France, man of the match in the Champions League final, someone that Wayne Gretzky would call Desire Do.
And by the way, if anyone from Dunkin' Donuts marketing department is here tonight, I think he's your man to do a deal with ahead of the World Cup. Double D.
I'm going to go for Nico Williams, the other winner for Spain. Lamine, everyone will watch the Lamine. It could well be Lamine's tournament, the kind of the birth of a global star. You think Haaland's going to conquer America with a big, the big sort of Norse warrior. Lamine is a star in the making, but Nico Williams is the counterpart. Be a big tournament for him.
I think the answer is Ricardo Pepi, if I'm being candid. That's not me just like being, playing to the crowd in any way. I love that man. I love his tenacity. I love his story, and he is primed in every way. But history tells us, I don't like negativity, but one of these teams will crash and burn in the group stage. France did it in 2010, Spain 2014. Which football superpower will have their end? Look at that. I take no pleasure in that. Will have their run end in the group stage, even in the format in which pretty well everybody gets to go to the next round.
In the group stage?
Yeah, you're asking a lot there, Rog.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't want to say the word England.
I think Germany. The Germans have qualified weirdly. Turns out Florian Wirtz isn't very good. I'm not cross about it. It's fine.
Have you been looking for your receipt?
Yeah. No, they're trying to. Something weird has happened. I think we all get that sensation these days that we're living in kind of the upside down to an extent. England is now Germany, and Germany is now England. So they're having a massive national existential crisis about their team being terrible. They've got a tricky group with Ecuador and the Ivory Coast. I can see them actually going out.
I'm going to say Italy.
If they're there.
No, Italy actually have a higher percentage to qualify from their group than the US do at the moment, because of the group that they would go into.
And they're not even in the bloody World
Cup. They're not
Cup.
even in the bloody World Cup. How Italian is
How
that?
does this work?
Love it.
how are we so disrespected that, like, the Vatican City has a better chance of winning the World Cup than the United States does? But go on, make your case, beautiful.
No, well, I mean, for Italy, I mean, that is my case. They will, I mean, they haven't got out of a group stage since they won the damn thing in 2006. So, you know, even if they do make it,
it's going to be like
tough.
a terrible episode of the old Ashton Kutcher punked. You made it. You're out of here, baby. Major tournaments. Fans will become a huge part of the culture. I mean, more and more, to be candid, the joy of the World Cup is off the field. It really is. It's like 80,000 Dutch fans bouncing down links, rechts. They'll be doing that incredibly in the United States, probably looking the wrong way at the traffic that's about to plow through them in America, which is faintly terrifying. There'll be German saxophonists in our cities bouncing around with thousands of fans following them. The Tartan Army will be right here.
Yes.
Which is the fan base you believe that we are overlooking, that we don't know yet, who will be the champions of vibes at the next World
Are we overlooking the Irish, given that they're not here yet? I think if the Irish get in, Troy Parrott and everything, I mean, yeah. The Irish have to make it.
The Irish will be fun with the Scots. The Scots will be amazing. As long as they're not anywhere too sunny, they'll be fine. Don't put the Scots in Texas. That would be. I can't remember where their games are, but that is not in anybody's interest.
Yeah,
Make the Scots.
Are they here?
2 games right here.
That's great because the Scots hate the English as well.
But by the way, if you guys want to get on Shark Tank, you could take onto Shark Tank the idea of sun lotion and sell it to Scottish people. Someone in this room is going to make an absolute bloody killing.
To be fair, Rog, there is an argument that the real star of the World Cup will be John McGinn's arse. That is a phenomenon that is about to hit America.
I would be shocked if there was not a sculpture of John McGinn's arse in Boston after this World Cup in every regard, and its truth will be a beauty that will teach generations. By the way, yesterday FIFA gave our president a sculpture that included Christian Pulisic's testicle being grabbed by hands.
Yeah.
So I think it's time that America had a sculpture of John McGinn's arse as one of our civic wonders. Let's talk about the winners. Opta believe after yesterday, Spain favourites to win the World Cup, 70% chance. France, 14.1%. England, 11.8%, which still leaves a lot of room to break a nation's hearts. By the way, the US, according to Opta, have just 0.9% chance of winning the bloody thing, which, like, I was both annoyed about, but I was also like, are you telling me there's a chance? Who will win this bloody thing and why?
I think Argentina might retain it. There we go. Was there a boo out there?
There was a boo over there, yeah.
Okay, interesting. No, because when they won the World Cup 4 years ago, they did it with players who broke into the team during the tournament. So your Julian Alvarez's, your Enzo Fernandez's, your Alexis McAllister's. They've now got Franco Mastrantonio, Nico Paz. They're not so Messi dependent. So I'm going to go with Argentina to retain it.
Just so you know how convinced James is of that argument, he said Brazil yesterday.
I did. In fact, in the notes I made for this answer, I put Brazil. Sorry.
Oh, it's going to be England, isn't it? It's going to be England, and I'm going to have to go home.
Make the case.
They've got a really good manager who's German. They have Harry Kane, who I think is the best English player of all time.
I thought he is now German as well.
Also German.
He looks increasingly German.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Tuchel likes them so much. No, they've got a squad that's probably as good as anybody apart from France. They've got all of that kind of talent. Elliot Anderson is going to be an absolute world beater for England. To people who watch a lot of the Premier League, that won't be a surprise, but there's an entire planet that is about to discover how good Elliot Anderson is. The one thing that gives me hope, might cost them, is they will be so tired at the end of the season. So I was saying this to James on the way. I have a small theory that the countries that are going to do really well are the ones with lots of players in Saudi.
Like Saudi Arabia.
Except for Saudi Arabia. Because those guys aren't running around. They're just sort of wandering about. They're not tracking back. No one's pressing in the Saudi Pro League. So I think this could be Darwin Núñez's World Cup.
He got out when he could. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. God bless.
Imagine America kind of embracing football through the medium of Darwin Núñez. That's what people want.
It would be an incredible thing. Like, genuinely, Pele came here, played in the NASL, and then was on every single lunchbox for 2 generations. If Darwin Núñez is on every child's lunchbox after this World Cup for the next 30 years, I'm going to actually, I may not see the US men win a World Cup in my lifetime. But I want to say, name one team that no one's talking about, that you just both adore, their narrative, their story. Ultimately, we're all talking bollocks. No one knows about... The draw taught us one dimension of football. We don't know anything. There's the heat, there's the journey, there's injuries, there's bonuses not paid, which will take out about a third of the team. Everything is just speculation. But there is narrative, the sweet, wonderful national journeying. Which team, when you think about it, of the teams that we know and love and breathe about, that no one's talking about, you just adore and cannot wait to see play out live at this World Cup?
I love the Dutch for a lot of reasons. Clogs, cheese, football. But I think they've got the best midfield in the tournament with Reinders, Gravenberch, and De Jong. And it's just great to be around Dutch people. I don't know what it is.
It's let me just move this back to the PG. It's stroopwafels. It's stroopwafels, James. The Dutch.
I mean, there's some of the stories like lower down are amazing. Curaçao is incredible.
Curacao.
Wayne Gretzky's beloved Curacao.
Yeah. And Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan's amazing. Uzbekistan is amazing. Haiti is incredible.
By the way,
like, it's obviously, like, being British, like, the view in Europe is they shouldn't have expanded the World Cup, it's too big, the quality's not there. But then you think that Haiti gets to be there, partly just obviously the 3 hosts qualify automatically. That's such an amazing story for a country that's been through so much, and it's that makes the World Cup special. It's not always the teams that win it, it's the teams that take part.
By the way, I do want to end on that. I am totally smitten with this Haiti team. I mean, the other team in Boston, in that Scotland, Brazil, Morocco key party in that group. But what a story Les Grenadiers are. 84th in the nation overall. This is a once-in-a-lifetime story of wonder we're seeing. They have not been in the World Cup since 1974. Most Haitians were not alive when their team last played. They lived for, like, watching Brazil in the World Cup. They are now going to see their team face Brazil. I mean, it's magic. It is utterly magic. There's a humanitarian crisis in Haiti. This team has still risen up and qualified for this team. And if they can win one game and make us scream Haiti's name, what a narrative-changing thing that would be for this nation. That Haiti 2, Scotland 1 scoreline is going to be just, I mean, by the way, if you're in the rum punch business, whoop! By the way, this, to me, and I agree, is all that's good about football. You are both all that's good about football. I adore being with you both. It's joyous that you've come through I mean, it's crazy that you've come through all of this. I'm on Zoom with both of you on the regs, to be with you both in person, to walk around Boston with you. I mean, generally, we have eaten well, we have drunken great. Even you, the great ice creams, like, genuinely, this man is an ice cream snob. He went to get ice cream in Boston. I quaked when I ran into him on the streets of Cambridge today. I said, how was the ice cream in Boston? And he said...
It was amazing. Tostaninis. Even, no, do you know what, to be fair, Horncastle is a much more sophisticated man than me, and even he was impressed.
Yeah, it was incredible. Try the bourbon and Viennese fingers.
There you go. God bless. Met my wife for the first time. The first thing he said to us, try the bourbon ice cream at Tonini's. I do want to say, Boston, you've wrapped these human beings in your arms. You've shown them incredible love. It's a joy to be with you. We will be back for the World Cup in your city. Please be upstanding for the 2 most thoughtful footballing brains I know, James Horncastle and Terry's chocolate orange in human form, Mr. Rory Smith. Rory Smith and James Horncastle. Are you ready to talk about the USA? Are there any American fans here? So let's go from the general to the specific and delve into the host nation narrative with a heavy emphasis on the US of A. As Kenny Powers used to say, America's the best country, the other countries aren't as good. That used to be called patriotism. By the way, when I became an American citizen, I want you to know, and I swore in, that was the mental picture that I did have in my heart and in my mind. So to delve into our draw, our dreams, our yearnings, it's an incredible joy to bring to this stage two human beings who I adore, two humans I've learned so bloody much from, two human beings I have loved watching on the football field wearing the shirt of our nation, two giants of the game who played World Cups that we have marveled at and now broadcast with us here at the Men in Blazers Media Network. Boston, please be upstanding for the quite magical Mr. Herc Gomez and the one-time New England Rev, Mr. Clint Dempsey!
This guy's gassing us up.
You guys know who this is? Why are you booing him?
What's up?
Oh, Deuce.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Did you think they were booing?
Oh, why are you
Clint
booing
Dempsey?
him? This man's a national treasure.
I know. They were just shouting, Mr. Burns, Mr. Mike Burns, Mike Burns. You don't boo Clint Dempsey, do you, Boston?
What's up? Good crowd tonight.
By the way, genuinely, I'm a man of peace, but were you booing him, I would be pulling nunchuckers out of my
That's
anus.
a proper crowd. That's a proper crowd.
It is a proper crowd, and we are here to talk in an incredible time. It's incredible to share the stage with you in Boston. You spent 3 seasons here as a Rev.
Yep.
Look at him. Look at that.
Yes, sir. Long hair don't care.
Clint, I'll say the same that I said when I saw myself in a Dunkin' Donuts. My life achievement was getting a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. Clint was playing professional football. Neither of us have changed. Does Clint look the same as he did then, right?
Nah.
When you look at that, what do you think, Clint?
Man, I just lucky to come to a great city like Boston, to play with the Revolution, to play with some great players, but also some great coaches. For Steve Nickel, Paul Mariner, may he rest in peace, just did a lot for me. And, yeah, thanks for welcoming me with open arms and kind of my, second home from Texas.
How would you sum up the sporting spirit of this city, Clint?
I mean, I would just say it's a city that gets behind their team. Whatever sport it is, it's a passionate city. It's a city that the people work really hard for what they got. You have to endure the cold winters, and you got to endure the crazy driving on the road. People on the shoulders. You got to get used to all that. Got to get that ice scraper. First gift you get, but no.
Did you think that was a weapon when they first put that in your hand?
I didn't know what it was, but
How do I go hunting with this?
Hey, all I know is if you're running around in January or February, you're going to get brain freeze, so you got to be careful. It's cold. But the summers were nice, man. That's what I remember about this place. Summers was where it's at.
Without further ado, let's drive into the US draw. We will face, let me remind you, the lowest ranked side in Pot 2, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards, Australia. Any Australians here tonight? Okay, we can talk honestly. We then face Paraguay. They finished 6 out of 10 teams in CONMEBOL qualifying. Then a playoff team to be named from Europe. It could be Romania, it could be Slovakia, it could be Kosovo, it could be Turkey. Please God, don't let it be Turkey. We'll play them in Los Angeles, June 25th. Herc, can you sum up the reaction to the US draw in 3 words?
It's a difficult one. Let me explain. I think the overall consensus is positive.
Let me explain was 3
Let
words.
me
so
explain. That's it. I think it's let me explain, because that's what I would say. I think the overall consensus is positive from a lot of people. I'm a pessimist by trade. It's a very difficult path to navigate if you're the U.S. men's national team, because I can guarantee you every team in that group is like, oh, this is the pot one we wanted. This is one of the pot ones we wanted. So they also see this as an accessible pathway to the next round.
It's fair. I mean, we see the world, they're looking at us,
Yeah.
and they're looking at us, and they're like, could have been Canada.
Well,
But this is...
could have been Portugal, could have been Argentina,
Yeah, yeah.
could have been Brazil.
But for us also, Clint, this is like best case scenario. That's how it's been kind of talked about in the media. You know, it's been talked about as a group of life. I can tell, and I love you, because you've lived a life. You played football. You played World Cups. You know how few easy games there are in a World Cup journey. We got pragmatic, low block Australia, pot 2. By the way, pot 2 could have given us, in the way you're talking about, we could have played Colombia. We could have played Japan. We could have played Korea. We could have played Croatia. Australia.
Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia are organised. Australia are resolute. They're star-starved, so we don't, you know, we're not, wow, Australia. We beat them in October. Haji Wright scored twice. And Australia 11. Pot 3 also relatively kind in that it gave us a deeply organised but bluntish Paraguay. They've not qualified since 2010. Again, we beat them last month in a friendly, which is always a caveat. Don't read too much into friendlies, America, on goals from someone called Gio Reyna. Oh, and I love Flo Balogun. Turkey, who could come out of that group, they did clip us 2-1. You and I had to live stream that game. It was the first thing we ever did together. We scored first. I was like, Clint! And then we kind of crapped the bed. And it was a bit dark.
Scored too quick, huh?
Yeah, we did.
It was
We
the
scored-
Jack McGlynn wonder strike. That was
we
a
scored
ridiculous
too
goal.
bloody- I was like, why are we even playing a World Cup? Just give us a trophy now. But this is a weird new experience for the US at a World Cup. We will be expected to win a number of these games, Clint.
I mean, first off, I'd start off by saying I don't really like the new format with having more teams. I think it makes the quality go down. I don't like the format in the sense of you have 8 third-place teams now that are going to get out of the group. When I think back to the World Cup groups that I was a part of, you know, in 2 of the World Cups that I played in, the team we played in the group won the World Cup. Italy, Germany in 2014, Italy in 2006. You had a true group of death, I feel like, in 2014 with Portugal, Ghana, and Germany. But I agree with Herc. It's not going to be as easy as what you think. I think friendlies are not the same as what you're going to see in this competition. The lifeline there is that you can still get 3rd place potentially and be one of those 8 teams that get out of the group. But if you look at the friendlies that they had, they weren't really that friendly versus Paraguay, versus Australia. It was a scrappy game, a lot of kicking, a lot of, you know, fighting. And if we get Turkey, like you said, I mean, I don't think it's as easy as everybody thinks, but I still am excited about the group that they got, and I still think that they can get out of this group, and hopefully they can continue this run of form that we've seen from them in the last 5 or 6 games, being unbeaten and creating more goals. So I'm excited about that.
I mean, we look at this group, and I've got to say, the thing that terrifies me, and I didn't sleep last night after the draw, because I am fully aware that Paraguay are out for revenge, right? I mean, in the 1930 World Cup, we beat them 3-0. That one still stings. They're going to be like in the locker room.
Semi-final appearance.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, Americans do not talk enough about the fact that we got into a semi-final in 1930.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, genuinely, we talk about putting a man on the moon all the time. Talking about inventing a cronut. But, like, we got into a World Cup semi-final. We are a proper football nation. But I fear, and I do fear Paraguay looking for ancestral revenge. But there's been a number of articles today talking about let's look ahead, which is never anything you should do in a World Cup. Genuinely, if there's one rule, only fools look ahead in a World Cup into the knockout round. But let's look ahead, because I am a fool. And if we top the group, we play a 3rd place team from one of the groups, BFIJ. I have no idea who the hell that is. That's like 87% of the tournament. So let's drink in the Kool-Aid, Boston. if we get into the round of 16, we could play Egypt, Iran, New Zealand, or Belgium. How excited should we be, Herc? I'm trying to, like, get hyped here, baby.
Well, if you get out of the
Recklessly.
group as first place and do your job to face another first place, what would be, let's say, Belgium, I think you should be as excited as you can be. This isn't the Belgium of, old 2018 that was in their prime, or the Belgium that was on its maybe last leg with some of those very prime players like a Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Martins, all these type of players. Right now, maybe you have, I would say, as good a chance as any of playing Belgium and getting a good result on home soil. I don't see why not, but you got to get there.
I love you.
And you gotta
Hercules
get there.
Gomez predicts semi-final for the United States as the headliner.
And after Belgium, it's Spain, by the way.
And what can it say? Spain are like, I mean, they
Hey,
all,
Confederations Cup, bro.
That's right.
Come on, man.
No,
It don't matter.
No, this is true. So Mauricio Pochettino, he referenced Miracle on Ice. Well, if you want your Miracle on Ice moment, it's versus Spain. Bob Bradley's Spain, Clint was part of that, ended a 35-game unbeaten run by the Spanish national team. That Spanish national team that won 2 Euro championships and a World Cup sandwich in between, that was Clint and Bob Bradley's U.S. men's national team. So it could be done.
what does that take, Clint? What does that take, other than Michael Bradley swearing on national television after the final whistle?
Nah, I mean, it just takes people fighting for each other. You're fighting for your teammates next to you. You got to stay compact defensively, but you can't be scared to take your moments and get forward and take the game to your opponents. You can't just sit back all game and just try to absorb pressure. You got to believe in yourself and attack and take risks. So I think we have the quality in our side that we can upset some teams, and what we've seen from them in the last 5 or 6 games has gotten me excited again about this national team. So I know we got some big friendlies still to come, and I'm looking forward to seeing those tests and how we do, but this team has all the quality that they need to do something special, that's for sure.
Mauricio Pochettino, can we just hear it for that, by the way? Because Mauricio Pochettino just needs to bring Michael Bradley back into the U.S. men's national team. By the way, Michael Bradley is very ready. But at previous World Cups, the U.S. advanced from much tougher groups. You played for them, both of you. The Ghana, Portugal, Germany group that you mentioned, that was the group of death in 2014. You laughed at that. I mean, this group, this is a weird question as someone that loves the American team. Is complacency almost like a new challenge for this team? Every team that we played, you played in the 2010 World Cup, we feared them. But we've been playing friendlies, often without our best players. This is what is so brain-scrambling about this moment, against teams that have also brought experimental squads. Like, if you were to say what weight class we're in, I was chatting to Clint about that before. Where are we weight class-wise? How do we even make sense of where we are? We whacked Uruguay, without our best players. How do we make sense of where we are right now?
Mauricio Pochettino will tell you those weren't the best players, the ones who weren't there. There are no regulars, and I actually enjoy that. I think it's, you talk about culture, you talk about mentality, those are the national teams of old. Maybe the players that we had didn't play in some of the leagues and teams that this pool has played in, but the mentality, the fight, that was there. He's brought that back. So when we talk about weight class, I think everybody's in flux. And you look at a team like Morocco last World Cup, the U.S. men's national team beat them 3-1 right before the World Cup. They fired their coach. They were in turmoil, and they go on a run where they had to beat Portugal, beat Spain, and ultimately bowed out to France. But it shows you how if you have the right mentality and fight, you can make a run in a World Cup. So I think that's the avenue if you're the U.S. men's national team, is understand that everybody's got their own problems and about you worrying about yours.
Let me ask you both the same question, because I love what you've just said. I do. I sit here as someone that loves this team, loves the U.S. men, loves the U.S. women. Our women kick ass and take names. And our men, we've won, what, in the modern period, one knockout game in a World Cup wonder. And I look at Morocco and I'm like, why never us? Genuinely, why never us? So I'm going to put you both crystal ball in this moment. How far can this US men's national team go? And what should we consider as a barometer of success?
I mean, they can go as far as they want a dream to go, and as far as these fans believe in them and get behind them to try to do something special. look back at the '94 World Cup and how the U.S. team performed. No one would give them a chance to have done as well as they did, beating teams like Colombia, who dominated in South American qualifying, and being able to, they only lost 1-0 to Brazil, who ended up winning that tournament. So you look at things like what South Korea was able to do when they had a World Cup in their country, and you can't. I'm not going to set a limit in terms of how high that we can go and what we can accomplish, but for me, with the parameters that are now in this World Cup, with having more teams and more third-place teams being able to get out of the group, I think it'll be a failure not to get out of the group. So I'll set a bottom limit. You got to get out of the group. Anything less is a failure. But I'm not going to put a cap on the top because it's as far as they want to dream and go.
Yeah, they're getting out of the group. You've got to be terrible not to get out of the group. And I say this only because I watched the U17 World Cup, and it's the same format. Mexico's U17s, they won one game, and they advanced to the next round because they had less yellow cards than the next team. So you're going to get out of the group. It's going to be that way, but it's what you do once you're out of the group. And I firmly believe, there's two sides of this. The pessimist in me says, if everybody plays to their level, plays to their ceiling, they can maybe get past Belgium, and they're going to hit Spain, and they're done in the quarterfinals. But then I ask myself, when has every team played to their level in a World Cup? And it doesn't happen. That's why you see teams like Costa Rica make a run, because you spoke about the group of death. There was another group of death in 2014. Costa Rica, Uruguay, England, Italy. They got out. They made a run, and ultimately bowed out to the Netherlands in penalty kicks. South Korea in 2002. The U.S. men's national team in 2002. So you can make these runs because it's the World Cup. So there is an avenue for you to upset. And listen, we see the United States, when it comes to representing your country in international competition, we see it at the Olympics. Fans who know nothing about a sport, if the U.S. is making a run, I'm a badminton fan. I'm on board now. So it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get people on board if you can inspire them, if you can give them a reason to be on board.
This is the joy of this moment. It really is. It just takes 1 second that can unlock genuinely just a tidal wave of support around the game we love in the nation we adore. So just for a moment, let's add a third great American to this party. We're in Boston, home of your New England Revolution, adopted home of one of my favorite men in American football, New England. Please be upstanding for Mr. Matt Turner. Matt Turner, it's bloody good to see you.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
Oh. Can I say, genuinely one of the most I find this man's journey, his footballing reality, one of the most inspirational storylines our nation has produced in the modern period. I know that you were in New York City yesterday for the draw. I know this city, Boston, is one that gave you a chance to prove yourself as a footballer. A world is about to descend upon New England. We've talked about it. England, Scotland, France, Norway, Haiti, Morocco. How happy are you knowing that the world is about to explore, discover, experience what is, I think, objectively, the pinnacle of global football, Boston?
It's unbelievable, and it's something that I think that this city deserves. We always try to represent the region the best way we can, all of New England. You look around right now, not only Boston, but all of New England. You got a team in Rhode Island, Bryant University doing well, Portland, Hearts of Pine doing well. You got to also give a shout out to the Vermont Green team, and the university.
I see the jersey.
You see the jerseys all around. The region is ready to explode for soccer, and it's ready for the World Cup in 2026.
Can I just tell you, there are like people all over this place wearing Hearts of Pine jerseys, wearing Vermont Green jerseys, also wearing New England Revolution jerseys. It is incredible to see. It's like genuinely entering a Star Wars cantina of New England football. But you were in New York yesterday with some of your teammates. What's it like? You've all lived it, by the way, experiencing the draw as players who are actually going to live it out on the field. Do you actually sweat the prospect of the group of death like giving a silent fist pump when things go your way? Or is it just like, we'll play whoever will play, it's out of our control?
I think, you know, in your mind, you want to have that messaging in your mind. Whoever we play, we have to play. If we want to achieve what we dream to achieve, we're going to have to beat everybody that we come up against. So the group is just, it's nice to have the group done and dusted, and now the pathway is clear, and that's kind of the way I was looking at it. It was cool. I was in Times Square, but it just felt, for the busiest place maybe in the world, it just felt still for like 30 minutes. I was locked in. It was super, super cool.
Clint, when you drew the group of death, where were you and how did that feel?
Shoot, I don't know where we were. I knew Lexi Lawless was hating because he was saying we wouldn't get out of the group. I remember that.
Boo!
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Can't be talking like that. But I agree with you. It's like the reason why you're in the World Cup is you want to play against the best. And how can you test yourself if you don't get that opportunity? But the most important thing is you just want to know who you're going to play and then how you prepare for that, right? So that was the most important thing. Know who's in your group and then know what you got to do to get out of it, because you can't control who's going to be in your group, right? All you can do is try your best to make sure that you're ready to represent your country and try to do something special. That's what I dreamed about as a kid, is representing my country. There was no bigger thing. And when there wasn't that national team carrot to play for anymore, that's when I knew it was time to hang up the boots. So.
Yes, sir.
So what was the mood for you yesterday, really? You can tell us. No one's listening. It's just us in this room. When you drew that group, what was the mood really like amongst you boys?
I'd say, like, if you look at the games that we had, the familiarity with some of the people and the opponents that we'd have, I think that's probably it's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, you have history now. You know, the teams that we're coming up against, we have had some bloodbathy games against, so it'll be really interesting to play them in a World Cup when it's all on the line at home.
We do not have to wait long. The World Cup is now just 187 days away. So last question for all of you. What's your one wish that all of you harbor in your heart? The World Cup is coming to North America. 1994 was meant to change the game in this nation, put it over the top, make it, you know, a major sport. It's become that. It's taken time. 2026 is going to finish the job and make the United States a normal football-loving nation like every other country in the world. So what is the dream that you have, that you harbor in your hearts, for the impact and the legacy of 2026, Herc?
Well, if 1994 spawned Major League Soccer, birthed a new league and a new generation of footballers like Clint, myself, and what we see today in Major League Soccer, it's got to take it to the next level. And I always hear that the U.S. isn't a soccer nation, and I push back on that. There's a reason the Club World Cup comes to the United States. There's a reason all these friendlies from all these English Premier League teams. There's a reason Copa America wants to play for the third time in this last 12 years here in the United States, because this is a soccer-loving country. And I hope Matt and the U.S. men's national team get on a run, inspire the next generation, just as once the 2010 team inspired you, and inspires the rest of America to support the U.S. men's national team. Because this World Cup, everybody's going to be paying attention. When they say the Yanks don't know, we got to show them how much we know.
I mean, Herc hit the nail on the head. Inspire the next generation that are going to go do something even more special than the current players are doing now, and not have to wait every World Cup for all of America to sit still and have soccer move the needle. That the needle will move every year. So that's the next step, is having, you know, more excitement in non-World Cup years. And I think that's what this World Cup will do. It will get more people on board, and you'll see more fans attending tournaments like Soccer America and packing out stadiums more consistently in the States.
From your mouth to God's ear, Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, it's tough to follow up with these guys, but I think my heart feels two things. It feels the fan side. You know, for all of us in this room that love the game so much, you wouldn't be here if you didn't love the game. And I just think that on top of the team, you know, supporting the team, supporting the countries that you came from, but also being good hosts, you know, accepting the people that are coming into the country, showing them a good time, you know, showing them what soccer's all about in this country. And I think that'll help to build the culture and build, bridge the gap. So, to create that excitement. And that's the fan side of me. And then on the playing side, the legacy. I want our team to be able to represent this country in a way that everybody can look at it and say, that is a good representation of the United States, not only as a soccer team, but as people as well. And that's what I really want it to be.
All-time leading World Cup shutouts right there,
Yeah. From the United States of America, one of the greatest goals. I mean, this is amazing. This man has shut out more teams. This man has scored against more, I think, in multiple World Cups than anybody else.
That's right.
It is a joy to be with all you. I will say, what I hope the legacy... Yesterday, one of the things that pissed me off about the draw was a number of jokes that there were about soccer and our use of the word soccer. And it pisses me off.
What country started that word?
England.
Yeah.
By the way, I will tell you, in England, two of the biggest television series of the past 20 years are Soccer AM and
Soccer Sunday.
Saturday. Soccer Saturday.
Soccer Saturday.
Soccer, they have these TV shows. This is a bloody thing.
It wasn't that big.
In England, they use the word soccer quite freely, but they, like the rest of the world, know we have an inferiority complex about our men and how poor we are at football, and they know that we know that they know that we know how insecure we are. So when they laugh at us using the word soccer, even though they use the bloody word soccer, we need to get beyond this. You can call it whatever you want. You can love the game in whatever way you want to do. What only matters is the way you make memories together, savor every single second, how much the game makes your heart soar. And I want to thank all of these three gentlemen. I've got to tell you, watching each of you in your own way in this tournament has made my heart soar. May the next generation make this most inconsequential debate in football, in soccer, go away. All three of you are magical human beings. We stand on all of your shoulders. Thank you for being with us tonight. Boston, let's hear it for incredible Herc Gomez, Matt Turner, and the legendary icon that is Mr. Clint Dempsey! Clint, Herc, Mac Turner. Oh, God, it's time. Should we bring on someone who's actually won a World Cup onto the stage? Because our next guest is the pride of Hanson, Massachusetts, the editor-in-chief of the women's game on the Men in Blazers Media Network, and is genuinely someone who soared, defined herself, made the world fear her wonder in a World Cup. I'm so happy that she's here, mostly because her mum and dad are in the audience tonight. And I do believe one of the great joys of football is the cross-generational memories it makes. And they must have some of the greatest cross-generational memories of any of us in the room tonight. Let's bring to the stage a human whose shows I listen to when I need a lift from my good vibes. Hailing from Hanson, Mass, Boston, be upstanding for one of your own, it's Sam Mewis! Melissa and Bob, you've got a good one here. Where are Melissa
They're right
and Bob
in
Mewis?
the middle. Hi, Mom and Dad. Oh, there she is.
Can you see your mum and dad?
Yeah, I can.
When my family are here, I always make sure they're not in my eye line, and we put Bob and your beautiful mother right there, right where you can see them the whole time. This is going to be a very different kind of interview. Can we just hear it for Sam Mewis's parents? May all of us in life experience and enter the joy that Sam has no doubt given you. Sam, we're here in your hometown.
I know.
How's it feel?
It's amazing to be back. I came back. I got dinner with my parents today. I've loved listening to the show and seeing all of you be so excited about the World Cup coming here next year. I love Boston, and I'm psyched to be here.
It is a magical city. You grew up in Hanson, Massachusetts. Can we hear it for the South Shore?
Thank you.
When you look at your own identity, what do you consider to be your most New England trait, Sam?
I mean, when I think of Boston and the area I grew up, the people I grew up with, blue collar is one of the first things that comes to mind. I heard Zdeno say that at the beginning of the show, and hearing his view of Boston was actually really inspiring. I grew up here. He didn't grow up here, but he's become such an incredible part of the city. My community was so hardworking, but I think the thing that I embody that I think represents Boston is actually being reliable. I feel like I, show up on time. I pride myself on that. I pride myself on the commitments that I've made, and that's something my parents taught me growing up, and it's something I think the people of Boston have is like this loyalty to each other, to our families, to our city. And so that reliability and loyalty is something I hope I have picked up from all of you.
Can I just tell you, I covered the last Women's World Cup with Sam. I loved every single second. I learned so much from listening to you. And then we talked about, you had a vision for what you wanted to build. And I came up here to the South Shore. There's a restaurant that Sam's family used to go to a lot. Tell us the name. Let's do a name. We should be sponsored.
Poopsies?
Poopsies.
Poopsies!
Can we hear it for Poopsies?
Poopsies is like bar pizza in Marshfield's Pembroke line. Bar pizza on the South Shore is my favorite food in the whole world. And yeah, Poopsies is a Mewis family regular spot, and I took my future boss there only to impress, and it worked.
It did.
Got a job.
I gave it 5 stars. But I want to be clear, I work for Sam in every regard. But Poopsies, I do want to say it's like bar pizza, 10-inch. If pizza was a Ralph Waldo Emerson poem, it would be Poopsies pepperoni pizza. And genuinely, if you've not been there, and this is the only thing you remember from tonight, shout out to the great Poopsies. I can't say that word enough on stage. And I'm grateful to you, Boston, for giving me that opportunity. But when I went out there, I asked you, what is New England about yourself? You said one of those words. You said loyalty. That was the first thing that came out of your mouth. You then said being impervious to the cold. And then you thought for a moment, and you said loving Dunkin' coffee.
Yeah. I know. I think Dunkin' to me is like when you drive back into Massachusetts, you just know because you start seeing more and more Dunkins everywhere. And I think it's like if you're passionate about Dunkin' Donuts that you had to like have this nostalgic memory and connection to it because it's okay coffee, but it is like my heart and soul and my lifeblood. And so I love Dunkin' so much. And I know you all do too. So thank you for cheering for that.
By the way, that's an incredible advertising campaign. You might want to workshop a little bit. It's okay coffee, but it is my lifeblood. And these are the kind of stories you tell in my favorite show that we put out, the incredible Mewis Squared podcast with you and your quite remarkable Christy Mewis, who I do think is going to win a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. But it's you two talking about your earliest memories growing up in this area. And you and Christy are not alone. This Boston area it is proper football here. Some of the earliest football in our nation was birthed and won and just competed here in Boston. Bert Patternald, let's hear it for him. Pochettino is considering him still, I believe, to play up front for us in 2026. That's the score of the World Cup's first ever hat-trick in 1930, born here in the Boston area. Christine Lilly, a legend, first captain of the Boston Breakers, most capped player in US women's national team history. And now, it goes on, it's biblical, because young Kansas City current star Ali Sentner also hails.
From Hanson, Massachusetts.
From Hanson, Massachusetts. Whatever is in the water in Hanson, I want some. But Sam, how can you tell a player is from Mass just by watching them play? What's distinct about them?
I mean, obviously hardworking. I'll give it to myself. I think about my sister as a player. I think about the NWSL players we're watching now, Allie Sentnor, Lily Reel, who's from Hingham, Massachusetts. Thank you, everybody. I think about Alyssa Nair, who's not from Boston, but, you know, she's from New England, and she played for the Breakers for a long time, and she embodies that Boston blue-collar, hardworking, scrappy mentality. All of these players that I think of all the sports and athletes who come from Boston just have that, again, blue-collar. You know you can count on them. When the chips are down, they're going to go in studs up on somebody, and they're going to do their best to get the ball back or get a red card. Turn the tide.
Alyssa Nair, she eats nails for breakfast. And that segues to the fact that Boston was also at the vanguard of the women's game in this country. It is, it was, it will be. The Boston Breakers, one of 8 teams, founding members of WUSA. How did that league not work with a branding genius behind that name? First professional women's league in this country back in 2000. There were stops, there were starts. And the Breakers ended up heartbreakingly ceasing operations 2018. But some 8 years later, this March, NWSL announced they're coming back into your enchanted town with the Boston legacy, backed by a pretty incredible ownership group that includes the likes of Boston's own, the great Elizabeth Banks. Sam, I know you're involved. I know you've loved it, and I do want to know, how meaningful is it for you to be involved as women's football at the elite level returns to the city, your city that you love?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to play, you know, professional or even really international soccer here in the Boston area. I went away for college to UCLA in California, and then I never played for any iteration of the Breakers. My sister got to for a few years, so I played like a handful of professional games here, but to be a part of it now, to be, you know, on the advisory board of the Boston Legacy, and to get to see women's soccer coming back here to a city that I know embraced it and loved it so much, a city that loves their sports so much. I'm so excited. I'm really, really proud of everything that the group has done so far. I think it's going to be really incredible, and I think for, you know, we know Boston fans and how committed, dedicated, loyal that they'll be to the club, and so to get to just be a very small part of it and witness it coming back and happening is really, really special. Imagining, you know, myself and how much I admired the U.S. Women's National Team growing up, the Boston Breakers growing up, knowing that other kids in this area and other adults who love soccer get to go watch these incredible athletes play is really cool.
I mean, I gotta say, I love this team. I love this city. I'm still proud of the Boss Nation tattoo that I got. I'm not gonna get it lasered off. But the legacy aren't the only reason 2026 will be a massive year for football in Boston. I don't know if you've heard, there's a lesser World Cup, the Men's World Cup, that's coming here. Boston's going to host 7 games, 1 round of 32 match, 1 quarter-final. I don't know why the final's not here, to be quite candid. But for any fans lucky enough to travel from around the world to this magical place, can you give them Sam Mewis's top 3 spots that they should eat, drink, imbibe, wonder, other than Poopsies, when they're in Boston? Can you imagine genuinely English football fans just like crashing Poopsies?
I mean, they should. Poopsies is definitely number 1 on my list. I did just stop for lunch today at Source in Cambridge, which I love. It has incredible pizza, wood-fired oven. I love it at Source so much. My next place would be Gray's Hall in Southie. Good taste over there. Gray's Hall is so good. They have natural wine. They're like chef driven. I know Southie is maybe known for like day drinking, which you should also go and do that.
Can we just hear it for day drinking? Thank you, Boston. Can I just tell you?
My parents are so proud of me.
And by the way, your dad's whipped his shirt off and is like currently waving it over his head. I always think when people are like, why is football, Premier League football finally taken off in the United States? You know, I'll say like, you know, the game, the FIFA franchise has sensitized an entire generation to the game. The rise of like, streaming has allowed us to watch so much live football at an elite level in a way. And then I'm just like, you know, an excuse to daytime drink at 7:30 in the morning. If you're in a bar and you're watching a football game, no, if you're in a bar at 7:30 having a beer, it's like not, society frowns upon that. If you're in that same bar with that same beer and Liverpool are getting beat by Arsenal, you're a Premier League football fan and it's magnificent. So God bless the daytime drinking. It's genuinely given it's given the US men the best chance they've had in generations to win the World Cup. But Sam, we need a third place, baby.
I do have a third place. I feel like, you know, all the lists of all the places for next summer will be mostly in Boston, and I don't know, maybe on the way to Foxborough, I'm not really sure. But if you are willing to venture out, some people here, the South Shore people are definitely going to know, Island Creek Oysters in Duxbury is one of my favorite places. It's like the best vibe. The Island Creek oysters are like, I assume world renowned, but I don't know that much about oysters. It's like my favorite place to go in the summer. So next summer, that's like definitely a destination.
Quick one. Can we get a local's take on how the world should order Dunkin' without revealing themselves as a tourist?
You say size, temperature, and then what you want in it. Medium, hot, with milk only. It's so much simpler than I think people know. I think all these people here are like, yeah, Sam, like we know. Large ice, extra, extra.
God bless. Life can never be.
Right?
Norwegians, listen to Sam Mewis. Sam, last question. Last time the World Cup was here, 1994. Foxborough Stadium hosted 6 games. Was anybody at any of these beauties? God bless. God bless. 3 hands went up. I believe you were not quite 2 years old in that moment. This time around, Gillette masquerading as Boston Stadium will host 7 games. How do you hope, Sam, 2026, you've been part of women's teams that have inspired this entire nation, changed the way we've seen the game of football. How do you hope the legacy of this World Cup, the Men's World Cup, can transform football in the United States and genuinely transform this city?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Boston sports fans are unlike people anywhere else in the world, and I think the way that we will embrace the World Cup coming here is going to be so much fun. I do think that soccer in America is, you know, a few steps below some of our other sports in terms of popularity still right now. And this is such an incredible opportunity for all of us who are so passionate about this game to show other people and introduce them to it, explain why we love it so much, take them out day drinking. I do also want to just use this question as an opportunity. I feel like something I get asked about a lot is how women's soccer will be impacted by the Men's World Cup coming here to the U.S. And I think the way I've heard it explained that I love so much is that all of these eyeballs are going to be on soccer. All of these fans are going to be so impassioned about the game. New fans, old fans. And women's soccer is going to be right here in Boston, right here in the NWSL, right next to the Men's World Cup. For all these new fans who want to keep watching, women's soccer belongs right there next to it. So I'm really excited to see how the Men's World Cup can also continue to support and lift up women's soccer.
Sam Mewis, those words, may they be ones of prophecy for our nation. Boston, let's hear it for one of your own. It's the World Cup winner. It's your own Sam Mewis. Oh, God. It's an absolute joy to listen to that. That was genuinely the highlight of my day in every regard. But it's time to close out the night in the only serious way a night like this can end, by bringing on one of the greatest musical acts in our nation, Boston, please be upstanding for the village people! Wouldn't that be amazing if they just came on now, genuinely? If every public civic gathering in the United States legally had to end with the village people performing. I'd be like, please, can you just play in the Navy and mix it up a little bit, guys? Let's do it. It's our final guest of the night, truly one of the most important human beings in my own life. He's a singer-songwriter with untouchable human emotional heat map. His lyrics are soaked in empathy. They've reinforced times of joy for me, like I know they have for so many of you. They've carried so many of us through times of challenge. And I know I'm not alone. You know how I know? Because he's accumulated over 7 billion, with a B, streams on Spotify. And by the way, at least 15,000 of those have come from me after Everton losses over the past 18 months. And I love him because he's also proper bloody football. Man lives for the game in general and Chelsea in particular. Boston, please be upstanding for one of your finest sons of New England. It's Mr. Noah Kahan!
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Boston. What's up? How we doing?
Can we just do just do your stuff from live at Fenway in between songs?
Yeah. I can't believe I'm here. Here's stick season again and again and again and again and again.
Oh my God, by the way, you don't know what joy, I'm going to talk, the bits in between the songs did for me. You know what? I mean, it's incredible to be with you in Boston where you are an icon. Like, I think about you like as if David Ortiz and Cuppy the Dunkin mascot gave birth to a musically gifted offspring.
Not even close. Big Poppy's a go. Let's be real here, y'all. I can't accept that.
God, I'm going to bestow it upon you, you beautiful man, because you embody this area, this region, this incredible... By the way, New England to me, as someone that was born in the old England, it's like new and improved England. I want to be completely clear. New embody... When I listened to your album, live from Fenway, every single bloody day. My dad died last year, and when I buried him, I found incredible strength in the album. And I'm being serious, not just the songs, Noah, but your ad-libs in between them. Genuinely, your gratitude, your self-deprecation. Above all, your memory-making in that moment as a kid that lived for that place, to be on you had an incredible presence of memory in that moment, which I think is the secret of life. And I don't like to be hyperbolic, but there was like an incredible human truth in between the tunes on that album.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to hear about your father. What I love about music and playing music is getting to remember. Like, I have songs about friends who have passed away or moments that have been hard for me, and every night that I play the song, I get to honor those memories, and instead of, saving them for a rainy day, it's like every night I get to think about these people I love, and in a way, I feel like you get to bring them back to you. So I'm honored that you found that piece in my music, and thank you so much for listening to it. I'm a huge fan of yours as well.
You're a beautiful man, and when he says he's honored, I think he's speaking about, you can hear that album he's singing, there's thousands of people singing along, and he's talking about thousands of you who are listening to this show and the memories we individually make, which is also, by the way, the narrative I believe that football gives us. Football and music, the memory, the transcendence, the emotional power, the sharing. We're talking about similar things here. We're talking about an incredible moment in your life. Win after win as a musician. You just played a concert here in Boston at MGM Music Hall. By the way, they raised $1.5 million for the Red Sox Foundation and your own incredible mental health charity, the Busy Head Project.
Thank you so much.
You were named a headliner for next summer's Bonnaroo Festival. I think, can we get a bit more love for the Bonnaroo Festival? Come on, open your hearts. But I've saved the best till last, because most importantly, last weekend, this man went back to his old high school in New Hampshire, the mighty Hanover, in its annual alumni soccer game, down 1-0, desperately fighting for an equaliser. Who went and scored the crucial epic 1-1 tying goal in a war of attrition? We've got the surveillance drone footage. This man can't be stopped. He can't be contained. Roll tape.
Bang! The second it left the boot. That was filmed on an iPhone -2, by the way. I'm sorry. The first ever video ever captured. The same guy that films fireworks shot that one.
By the way, can we just show it again? Because I'm pretty sure that is like drone. that is drone footage.
Hey, it's like Bigfoot scored a goal.
By the way, I watched that. Like, I heard about this. I'm like, can you send me the goal? They're like, yeah, we got it. It's a beautiful piece of film. We captured it. We smashed it. I'm like, clean your lens, you mad bastards. But by the way, I watched it. I watch a lot of football now, I can't. And I've got to tell you, that goal, man opened his body instinctually.
Look.
First time. I'm not saying Liverpool need a striker or anything. They can just...
Never in a million years would I go to Liverpool. I was unfortunately born with Buffon's pace, but Henri's touch. I think I could have gone pro. I didn't have the mind for the game, unfortunately. I'm just a natural-born fox in the box.
That was a natural finish in every regard.
Striker's finish. If we were playing against 15-year-old kids, it felt like I was at home against Chelsea.
During your time, I love this. We talked about this when you came on our show. At Hanover, you wore the number 9 jersey.
Yeah, I did. There was a kid who was like so much better than I was that was coming onto the team, and I didn't get that much playing time because I was just not as good as this kid. But he was like, "Can I have the number 9? I'm gonna play like every game." I'm like, "Hell no, dude." So I sat in the bench and wore number 9 the entire time.
You can have the playing time, but you'll never have the number that you covet.
No way.
And your high school coach, Rob Grabbill, once joked, this is an amazing line, he said that Noah Kahan learnt about alienation and depression right here on the Hanover high pitch. Because as a junior, this man, look at him.
Something was wrong for sure.
Again, not changed.
The white shirt over just the exact same size blue shirt. It's very 2014.
When I see that photo, again, I listen to the Fenway album, and it makes it all the more bloody powerful. That's like the you that was like dreaming of that.
Yeah.
This is the you that's lived it.
Yeah, you know, I becoming a musician was always a dream of mine, but I've always been so interested in soccer that getting to do anything like this is like my Super Bowl. It's like my biggest show is getting a chance to come and talk about soccer. And the alumni game, it felt like I was at the World Cup final. Like when I scored that goal, I genuinely thought my career was about to take off. But
by the way, this whole show tonight is not about him coming to talk to you. It's him trying to speak to Premier League teams like Burnley, like Everton, that need a guy that can get you 20 goals a season guaranteed and live out his childhood dreams.
I'll play for Wolves. I don't care.
I'm not fussy.
I'm not fussy. Just keep me in the Premier League and we're fine.
Noah Kahan live at Molineux, the album that didn't sell so well.
There's 2 or 3 fans over there.
I will say.
Spotify metrics tell me Wolverhampton's a big market.
I do believe, ultimately, and I love your story, you were constantly on the bench, you were constantly asking for more playing time. Essentially, you was Mo Salah before there was Mo Salah. Too soon. But I strongly believe, I believe this absolutely, that for kids who play this game, and there's a lot of you who are here tonight, the most important part of football is the lessons you learn about life off the field by playing on it. And I do want to know, is there anything that you've learned from football that you still carry with you or that you live by now?
Yeah, I think one of the bigger lessons I learned, can I say soccer without getting made fun of? Is that cool? You guys?
By the way, can I just tell you, are we not in a post-soccer world now where we can call it whatever the hell we like? Let's love ourselves, America.
Okay. I'm sorry, because if I say football, then I sound like a douchebag. If I say soccer, I sound like a douchebag. You're screwed either way. I'm going to call it sock ball. Okay, so growing up playing soccer, I think one of the things I learned the most was failure. Losing a lot. I really wasn't that good. And so I had to lose a lot. I had to lose playing time. We lost games. And what I learned was being humble in defeat and understanding that failure is such a big part of life. And you can do everything right. Sometimes you can work as hard as you can, and sometimes you just lose. I think sometimes when we lose, we feel like there's some like unjust thing happening or there's some mistake that happened. But sometimes VAR doesn't help you. You just lost the game, and you got to move forward. And I think that soccer taught me a lot about how to move forward after failure, which I've had a lot of in my career.
Which, by the way, ultimately, I do believe tenacity. I did the first time I ever interviewed Arsene Wenger, I said, what's the greatest and most important skill that a footballer has? And he just leant into the microphone, and I actually put this out every single National Poetry Day, because he didn't wait a beat. He just goes, tenacity, the ability to move from point A to point B is what separates the good footballer from the truly great footballer. So if you, in a FIFA ranking, Noah Kahan I'm taking has speed like about 12.
If we're looking at like FIFA, like a card,
Yeah.
speed 14, dribbling 15, shooting 87. I got a rocket on me. I also, my senior year, they would only put me in for corner kicks because I was the only kid that just didn't care about his future at all. They're like, just jump in there and see what happens to you.
Essentially Gabriel before there was Gabriel.
Yeah.
But I will say, for tenacity, this man is about 100. And for kids who are listening, ultimately that is the value that matters. And it shows because you went on to become one of the best known combinations of musician and footballer since Alexi Lalas released Ginger.
Did he put music out? Oh, I can only imagine what that sounds like. I have an idea in my head. Oh my God, what kind of music did he make?
It was like, I mean, they're mostly Noah Kahan covers. I think it's a Stick Season cover album, though. What else could it be?
That necklace just screams 2002. Trying anything.
This album came out last year, Noah.
Oh, did it really? Never mind. I'm sure it's awesome. We should write sometime, Alexi.
I know. By the way, this man loves collaborations, Alexi. Call him. But I've got to say, you are at alumni games as João Pedro, which is called a pivot because you are proper Chelsea, which always blows my mind. I love it. We've talked before. Chelsea fans here tonight.
Let's go.
God bless. I got to tell you, I always think of Boston genuinely as like a Liverpool place. I do. I'm trying to think of what city I think of as the Everton. Akron, Ohio is the Everton place of America. But you came on, you told me your story. You've been a Blue since you picked up FIFA 06, started playing Chelsea, and your incredible mum. I adore your mum, Laurie.
Yep.
She used to pick this kid up early from school, give him an excuse to leave school on Champions League Wednesdays so he didn't have to miss a game. By the way, she is the Didier Drogba of mothers.
Oh, yeah.
What's remarkable to me, you've not missed a Chelsea match. Is it true in over a decade?
I've never missed a game. I've had to watch like some halves. Sometimes we've had shows in the middle of the games. But I'll watch between song breaks and I'll watch right before I go on stage. There's been a couple tough ones, like 2018 Chelsea, if any Chelsea fans remember Danny Drinkwater. I was in Australia, having to wake up at 3:45 a.m. to watch us tie fucking Aston Villa. Drinkwater starting. So there's been some grindy times. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, we're spoiled. We've just won so much, so many times that we sometimes we don't get a trophy one year, and we're all like, oh no. But that's the thing about being a Chelsea fan is you live for the ups and downs. It's a turbulent team to support, but yeah, Chelsea till I die.
I mean, it's amazing to me. When Chelsea won the Club World Cup, I'm not like drawing a correlation from the fact that I did the coin toss before that game, patted Reece James on the back and said, go give him hell, Reece. It's a true story, to be candid.
The referee said that?
No, I did the coin toss.
Oh, you did it. Oh,
yeah,
whoa, cool.
I did the coin toss, did it. Like, everyone was like, they're going to get murdered. So I was trying to be a nice guy. I was like, Reece, give him hell. And he looked at me, he looked at me like, are you a dickhead? PSG. And God bless, you now have that club whatever thing patches. And when it happened, which was surreal, you were the first person I reached out to. I was like, I am so happy for you.
Oh, it's awesome.
And you were like genuinely.
I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like, well, unfortunately, that Club World Cup badge on our jerseys looks horrible. It's fucking massive. They need to make that thing a little smaller. Then we finally got the jersey right for 1 year and so many years. They put this giant dinner plate thing on it, and we get it. No, I was thrilled. It was just one of those performances that, like, you can't really explain why it happened. I mean, the conversation was so in favor of PSG, and it was just like a gut punch. And then that first half was so fun to watch as a Chelsea fan. João Pedro just come to the club. And it was just such a moment of everything clicking. It was pretty special.
So what role does football play in your life now? How do you understand it? When you get up in Australia at God, for Danny, I mean, you are committed. It's a ritual. It's a structure. It's a connect. What is it what role does football play for you now?
I think so much of my life is about me, like my career and marketing myself and thinking I'm interesting enough to keep writing songs about year after year. And it's a very self-focused job, and it's special, but I find it's really hard to get outside of myself because I'm always encouraged to think more about me and how can we market me. And football, soccer allows me to escape that and be part of something bigger and more important than just what I'm doing that day. It helps me think about community. It helps me think about this thing that I can't control, allowing yourself to not be in control, but still support it and hope it happens anyways. It's like a hope that I got to have every week instead of like a certainty of what I'm going to do that day. And I just appreciate that. I appreciate being able to step outside of myself. I appreciate just having something to care about, you know? When I was a kid, growing up in New Hampshire and Vermont, like we were 2.5 hours from Boston, so it wasn't often that we would be able to go see Red Sox games or Patriots games. I went to a Revolution game, and the on-field passes were like $8. Like there was nobody there, but it was hard for me to get all the way down to Boston. So Chelsea was like my team, and everyone's a Patriots fan, but I was like, I'm a Chelsea fan. And it was like my special thing. And so it's been something that I've nurtured for a long time, and I think a big part of it's like my inner child that I want to keep close to me.
By the way, what you've just articulated is so deep and so rich. There's like the past, there's the present, there's the future, there's that sense of who you are in the day-to-day. There's a sense of the who you are you want to reconnect with and how you want to really be. There's the public you, there's the private you, there's your needs. We did a show a couple of weeks ago with Trevor Noah at the Stone Pony. And he spoke so unbelievably beautifully about football. Like, I'm still kind of shook by that conversation. He said one of the things he loved most about the game is he said, and he better out of his mouth because he is an incredible poet, but he said if you see someone wearing the same team shirt as you could, his words were, you can automatically become brothers and sisters and, quote, find common ground in an instant. Your life is perpetual movement. You're perpetually on tour, perpetual confusion, but always chaos. Another city. I mean, you visited more cities in common San Diego. Does Chelsea fandom give you that sense of connectivity, which is all too rare in a positive way in our world, like an immediate touchstone?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, whenever there's a big Chelsea game and I'm on tour, I'll just find the closest Chelsea bar and go watch the game with randos, and we just hang out there, and we are from different walks of life or completely different people, but we can connect over this one thing, which is harder and harder to do nowadays, to find something that connects us all that we can all agree on. And wanting Chelsea to win and hating Arsenal is something that just something that you can connect with somebody random on. It's hard to communicate with people in a way that feels connected now. And I do feel that way. Every show I do, there's always someone in a Chelsea jersey, or there's always someone in an Arsenal jersey, probably that guy booing over there. But even that is fun. It's like, I've never been in a conversation with someone about football, about soccer, where like there's any real antagonistic quality. It's all a bit surface level, and it's fun to have a little joust with people, or it's fun to see someone in the crowd and go, up the Blues or fuck Arsenal or whatever it is I'm saying. It's cool. It connects me.
God bless. I've got to say, when you hate children, hate with empathy, like Noah Kahan.
Always.
In every regard. I do need to ask you quickly about Chelsea Football Club. When we last spoke, you were so bloody optimistic about this incredibly young team. You told me they would finish in the top 4. They finished in the top 4. They earned Champions League football for the first time since 2022. Today, they drew at Bournemouth. With their Club World Cup champions badge on. By the way, I think Grammy winners should wear like a huge, like, for 4 years they should wear.
I wouldn't have one of those either. Grammy nominees would be cool.
There you go. 2 for Grammy nominees. Whole room. God bless. Thank you for covering my arse, Boston. But your team is sitting quietly in 4th place.
Yeah.
Today they drew. Finished, by the way.
Is that right?
Everton are in 5th.
Let's go.
Was that an angry thing from a Liverpool fan who's like shocked that for at least one more week we're above you? I don't know. Nice win. You had 11 men on the field at the final whistle. But what's the real Chelsea team that clenched their teeth for Arsenal to a draw 6 days ago? It feels like 6 years ago. Or the one that lost midweek to Leeds and just crapped the bed. Who is the true Chelsea?
This is the real Chelsea, baby. This is the Chelsea experience. We're going to beat Barcelona, then we're going to lose to Leeds. I think it's frustrating as a fan. You get excited. I think as a fan base, we have to be patient. I think we're very reactionary today in modern football landscape. Everyone wants results, and sometimes when you're part of a project, you need to be patient. I think you can already see what the ownership and what our manager is doing coming to fruition slowly but surely, and there are moments of brilliance, but I think with a few more signings, that project will be even farther along. I think we need 5 or 6 more 15-year-olds. We should just get... That sounded so dumb coming out of my mouth. We need a striker, man.
What, a striker who is slow of pace,
Look,
but
yeah.
quick of mind.
I know what you're getting at. They need to sign me. Just give me a 2-month loan, dude. Stick me in the janitor's closet at Cobham. I don't care, dude. One game, one moment. I promise, Bowley, I'll do you right.
Yep, I promise, Burley. Burley, just give this man your number 9. He doesn't even have to kick a football. Just the spite of owning that number 9.
I've got Ibrahimovic's nose. That should mean something.
By the way, it is literally Ibrahimovic's real nose. I want to know very quickly, who is the current Chelsea for? I love Enzo Maresca and his chess stylings. I love Reece James and his tenacity to fight back and just come back so deliriously. I love your kind of avant-garde Zen master and just absurdist comic Cole Palmer. I love Estevao, 18 years of age, Steve, defining himself. I mean, Brazil's greatest exports, coffee and magic. When you watch your Chelsea, who makes your heart sing?
Caicedo. I think he's the best defensive midfielder in the world. Yeah, that's right. I think he wears his heart in his sleeve, and he gives everything every game. I understand. I think he has to find that balance. He can get himself into trouble with some of the tackles, but I believe he's a difference maker. If you've watched the last 2 games, we're desperately missing someone in midfield to make those tackles and to get that spark going. He reminds me a lot of like a Makelele or a Conte, and I absolutely love that archetype of player, somebody in the midfield that can just get things done. I think he excites me the most. Cole Palmer, obviously on form, is unbelievable, but Caicedo is my favorite.
Top 3 Chelsea football players all time for you?
Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, Gianfranco Zola. Eden Hazard in 4th.
There you go, the big buttocks of Hazard.
Hazard, he and I have the same ass, I've always said. Him, Bronislav Ivanovic, and me could go
John McGinn.
ass for ass. Yeah.
And John McGinn.
McGinn's great.
That's the FIFA rankings I want to see. 100, Brazilian butt lift, get in there, baby. We know you're a remarkable storyteller, Noah. What's a realistic arc for Chelsea this season? What would you tell Chelsea Nation about all there is to come?
For Chelsea? Yeah. I think we can win the Champions League this year. It feels like one of those seasons. It really does. It feels like one of those seasons where we can just grind out Tuesday and Wednesday results. We might come in I think I could see 5th or 6th place in the league, but I think we could win the Champions League this year. I believe it. It reminds me of that 2021 team where we were just dog shit in the league, and then you just result by result, you're like, they could really do this. I think we're well set up to win one-off knockout games against other big teams.
Oh, to being dog shit and winning things. Genuinely, the Chelsea
It's so
story.
hard.
Can you tell me, we are here for one reason only tonight, to celebrate the return of the World Cup to North America, to Boston.
Oh, let's go. Unbelievably cool.
And Noah, you have an old soul. You really do. But when the World Cup was last here in 1994, you were still 3 years from actually being born. So what is the earliest Noah Kahan World Cup memory?
I think probably the Zidane headbutt would be my first World Cup memory. I couldn't, everyone was getting so mad about it, and I was like, what's happening here? This bald guy's headbutting this other dude. I was pretty young. I would think I was 7 or 8 years old. I just started watching, and I remember that being a big deal. But I also remember the 2010 opening match. Was it Shalala?
Shalabalaba, South Africa.
That goal against Mexico, an unbelievable goal. We watched it in my 7th grade cafeteria, and I remember being like, this is so cool. So those are my earliest World Cup memories.
That is an incredible memory, and it brings us full circle because Shalabalaba, South Africa, World Cup, could they be the first World Cup nation to crap the bed with the world watching, playing Mexico, 1-0 down, and this little guy, Shalabalaba, burned down the left wing and unleashed a finish,
Unbelievable.
Which I would
Upper
say,
90.
Yeah.
Directly into the top corner, water bottle.
I mean, this is game respecting game, talking about it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He could work on a couple things, but it was pretty darn good.
It was an ecstatic moment, and it made a whole continent dance in every regard.
Best World Cup ball of all time.
The Jabulani.
The Jabulani. So great. One of the best balls to play. I was like a little kid, having a friend, the rich friend who had the Jabulani. We would play with it around. Oh, that was the best.
No ball has humiliated both goalkeepers and strikers in equal merit. It was genuinely.
Oh my gosh.
It was like
a lot of movement on it. Was there something happening in the ball, like some kind of fiber or something that was making that happen?
It was a scientifically avant-garde football that they tested and tested and tested. But they tested in England, where the air density was the complete opposite of South Africa. And by the time it got to South Africa, it was like letting the greatest elite athletes play football with a bar of soap they couldn't grasp. I mean, it was just slapstick human wonder. But still, the greatest memories are formed, which I think is the wonder of the World Cup. And for you, I just finished writing a book about the World Cup. For me, the greatest thing about the memory of the World Cup is just the spine of my life really is World Cup memories. It's a profound memory maker, a global connector. It's been the spine of my life. It's how I mark the passing of time. It's how a music obsessive, I imagine, thinks about their life by songs and albums that are released, the soundtrack of every single era. For you, Noah, what's the World Cup for you as you remember them in your arc of life?
The World Cup's interesting because it's every 4 years, and I think you can't help but look at how much has changed in your life based on where you are and where you're watching it. Like a Super Bowl is every year, and you kind of don't have to think about where you were the last year. But 4 years ago, where was I watching? 4 years before that, I was in 7th grade. 4 years before that, I was 8. 4 years before that, I was 4. 4 years before that, I was sperm. So you can only imagine how much you can track your life's changes. And I think it forces you to reckon with where you've gone in your life, where you've been, and if the passion still being the same is like a testament to how much you care about this game. So I'm always proud to be like, I'm watching another one. I'm still just as excited to watch the U.S. men's national team play. It's just a good way to trace through your life.
I want to get to the U.S. team in 1 second, but I do want to say yesterday, FIFA announced they're going to do a halftime show for the World Cup final, which is a bold move. So I want to know, if you were asked to play it, Noah Kahan, would you, and which two of your incredible collaborators, and you can't choose Alexi Lalas, which two of your many collaborators would you bring to guest with you?
Oh, big football fan. Sam Fender is one of the biggest football fans. A Newcastle fan, a true fan. And also just an unbelievable storyteller, musician, one of the greatest live shows in music. I think Sam would be an easy choice. And then it would be pretty cool to bring out somebody that maybe you wouldn't expect to be into, like Casey Musgraves, I feel like would be great out there. She would She's got great energy. It'll be fun to see her on that kind of stage, I think.
Oh my God. Can I say, when on the Fenway album, Everything Everywhere, when you bring out
Gracie.
if you were to do the halftime show at the FIFA World Cup and just be like, with the same energy, just be like, Cat Stevens!
That would be unbelievable. I mean, are they really doing that? Who's doing the halftime show?
I hope Tracy Chapman, they've not announced it.
Oh,
yet.
that's awesome. Really?
No, I think it'll be the Village People. It'll be the bloody Village People.
Oh, right.
It'll be genuinely the Village People. Let's talk about the United States of America. Village People, by the way, are going to be making so much money in the next 10 years. It's unbelievable. By the way, they're going to be playing the next Super Bowl as well. They're going to play the opening ceremony of the World Cup in Saudi Arabia and the halftime show. They're making bank. So let's talk about lovely things. The US boys, they're playing Paraguay, Australia, likely Turkey, possibly in the group stage. I know you've got tickets for a ton of World Cup games. Can you talk about the US team, what you love, what you dream of? We've won one knockout game in the modern period. Why never us?
I think we need a new chant as fans. Are we still doing I Believe We Will Win one? We gotta chill with that one. Horrible. I don't know how you could do anything to that. So bad. Really bad. I really like our group. I think it sits favorably for us. I do believe the U.S. men's national team does play with a lot of pride in the World Cup, and I hope that we can bring a little bit of that to the knockout stages this year. I'd love to see us leave the group. I do rate Poch. I think he's a good coach. And I think we have a lot of talent, a lot of younger talent. I don't think the team's been in a better suited place in terms of young talent in a long time. So, yeah, I hope we can make a deep run. I just don't know. I'll be watching every game. I just don't want to lose to Belgium. I feel like we get Belgium a lot. I would like to not see them. I would like to see us get out of the group and put a couple of results and pass the group stage.
Can I say, you're a songsmith. If you were to write a chant for the US team to replace I Believe That We Will Win, what would it be?
I'm pretty sure that we might succeed. My music is not hype music at all. We got to get somebody else for that. My music's for when they lose and they all go to like the Appalachian Trail to find themselves.
By the way, you've got a line from Homesick that I love, where you sing, I've got dreams, but I can't make myself
believe them.
Yes, which, by the way, for me, I think is the perfect lyric to update the I Will Win chant. That, for me, genuinely, if we could get 100,000 people in LA and Seattle in that opening round chanting Homesick, nothing can bloody stop us. But when you dream of US victory, I was going to say, what does it look like? I guess I'm asking, Noah, will we see our US boys win the World Cup in our lifetimes?
I think a lot needs to change at the academy level and the fundamental level in this country to get the talent that we need onto this roster. I think there's a lot of problems in the infrastructure of American soccer that will prevent us from really finding the greatest players. I think the equity of football in America is not where it needs to be. I think it needs to be cheaper for young people to get into the sport, more accessible. It's a very, very difficult sport to get to the highest level at with the way the structure is set up here in America, and I think we need to do a better job of that before we have any chance of winning the World Cup.
It's an incredible time to be alive when one of the country's greatest musicians should also be running the academy system in the United States of America. I guess what Noah's saying, in 2042, Tyler Adams' son Jax will be playing alongside centre-back partner Tim Ream. And American glory will be guaranteed. I want to close by talking about this city, this incredible place, this ferociously
greatest city on earth, man. Boston is the shit. Everybody knows that.
There you go. I mean, not to go off live at Fenway Park on your ass, but it is a cathartic show. You call Boston the only city in the world I've ever felt at home in.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be able to say about a place, to know it, to feel it, to share it. So what does this city, this crowd, The world's about to see this. What does it offer that's singular among next summer's hosts?
I don't think there's any passion in the world like Boston passion. I think they embrace the people they love, the things they love wholeheartedly. I think they put their entire hearts in their sleeves when they care about a person, a team, a restaurant, a place. And I've always felt welcomed in by Boston, but also very respectful of honoring that passion and making sure I represent represent the city wherever I am as much as I can. Like, you know, walk around New York wearing a Red Sox hat, and I don't care because it's Boston. I think that the players will feel that. I think the U.S. men's national team will feel that tenfold, and I hope that the other teams feel a little bit of that passion. I hope they feel us and hear us there. I think people are not ready for American soccer fans who have been waiting for a long time for this event to happen, for how excited folks are going to be and how intense we can get. I think we should give them every single ounce of our energy, and Boston is the greatest place for passionate people.
Can we just pull that photo up one more time? When you look at that, what do you see, Noah? I often look at that photograph, and I've often said, what must that human being, the guy who was wearing the baggy shirt, under the baggy shirt, the guy that dreamt, the guy that yearned, the guy that made those dreams come true, when you look at that now, what do you feel?
I always feel like they're cheering for someone right behind me. You know, I was never really able to accept all the love, and that's really hard for me, but having that memory, it was one of the first nights that I felt like I was on stage and I belonged there and I deserved it, and the crowd was just so, they were the stars of the show. Like, the crowd were the stars. I fell in love with every single person in the audience, just watching them enjoy that moment. It wasn't about me at all. It was about that night for them, and it was incredibly special. And it's something, I've always said, if I had to retire, if I had to quit tomorrow, it would be the single most amazing highlight of my music career in my life. It's something I'm very, very proud of.
I often look at that photograph, I've got to say, and hope that for all of you in this audience and everyone watching at home, we all get to feel an nth of the joy, the emotion, the transcendence that I imagine that you and your family must have been experiencing in this moment, which brings us to the last question.
Well, Raj, real quick, I just want to say, and I could speak on the behalf of everybody here, I think you bring a lot of that to people as well. What you do is incredible. I've been watching you for a long time. I was fortunate enough to meet your family, and you're just a lovely person, but you're also doing a lovely thing for this game and for American fans of this game. So we all thank you as well.
Noah, you will not out self-deprecate me on this stage.
I know, this is like an immovable force meets an in whatever object.
I know. There's so many things that I've come to love about this man, but genuinely neither of us can stand the nice things said about us within our own earshot.
In a way, you are a little New England with that, I feel like. Just cannot take a compliment.
I won't take it, and I won't stand it. Let me dwell in my own self-criticism, negativity. I said to Trevor Noah, and I'll say it again, I do feel like my whole life is one incredible unjust VAR review. And I'm quite happy with that standing. But ultimately, life is about finding joy. Life is hard. Life's full of challenge. Life is finding flickering senses of meaning, which is what I love about football. Communing with you all tonight, to be candid, sharing these moments, making these memories together. And a lot of it I feel when I watch you, when I see you in concert, when I listen to your music. This is me throwing it back on this mad bastard. It's called diversion and deflection, therapists in the audience who are watching. But I do want to ask you to close. It is a time of challenge. It is a time of change. I mean, by the way, some days I do believe the entire world is experiencing stick season at the very same time. And you are such a beacon of light in the darkness. You don't like to think about it, but you are. So I do want to finish by you telling us, when you feel challenged, what strengthens you, Noah? What gives you a sense of optimism when you need it?
That's a great question. I can't remember who it was, but it was like, it might have been Mr. Rogers, or was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Is that the guy?
I think it was Pete. It was
either,
either him or Peter Drury.
Well, he said when there's a natural disaster or something horrible that happens, just to look for the helpers and look for the people that are helping. And there's always so many more of them than there are people distracting and detracting. So I think it's easy to look at the bad, but there's so much, I don't know, there's so much good. And if you look hard enough, you can find it, and it does bring some hope. And I know it is a difficult time for so many and a very complicated time for us all, but I think there are a lot of people that are just trying to do good. And I try to focus on those folks as much as I can. And try to be one of those folks myself. So that's what brings me optimism. It's a chance to be better every day. And I don't know.
Mr. Rogers, Peter Drury, Moises
One and the same.
Caicedo. Do you like those human beings? I do want to say, Noah, you are a remarkable human being, truly a joyous, authentic human wonder. And I want to thank you for all of the empathy that you bring to the world and to, I think, all of our lives. It's rarer and rarer as a currency, and it's all the more precious. Before you leave, I do want to make a memory of the night. Join me on the front of the stage. We're going to bring our photographer, Matthias, on. Let's have the audience upstanding. Let's take a photograph that all of us can treasure forever.
Amazing.
Boston.
And thank all you guys. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have had fun. Even the Everton fan back there.
Let's do it. Noah Kahan! What a human being, right? Can I just tell you, that gentleman, never mind the Grammy, deserves a Pulitzer Prize for poetry in every regard. I want to say, what a human being, what a night. Boston, I really am so grateful to all of you. For being with us. I'm going to talk about that in one moment. I started off by thanking them. I want to thank Bank of America again for making it. We couldn't do any of this without their support. They are the official bank of US soccer. They're the bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. I want to say we are ecstatic about everything that is about to happen in the year ahead. And we are so thankful to our friends at Bank of America for powering so much of what is good about football in our nation. It brings us together. It allows us to feel things. It allows us to feel joy. And it's an honor to ride with them in this biggest year in American soccer history. Thank you for all you do in Boston and across this nation. But most of all, I want to thank you, Boston. I really, really do. I'm so grateful for every moment that we have in your company to convene, to commune, to share moments like this. You're going to share your heart. You have such a deep and precious heart. Moroccan fans are coming. They're going to bring their ecstasy to your streets. English fans are coming. They will dance in your fountains. The Tartan Army are going to absolutely march with pipers through your streets, and you will share their joy and their pride and their wonder, even if it is fleeting, and I hope that it's not. But let's revel in it all. Let's make great memories, multi-generational memories that we carry with us for life, because that's all that matters. That really, really is. Not the winning, not the losing, but what we share and what we carry with us. This is Rog saying, let's not take a second of watching football together for granted, Boston. Thank you for bringing us into your hearts tonight. Big, big love and courage.